Yo, welcome to Hard Pass. I am your host, Jacques Slade. Today on the show, we've got Nike botching a signature shoe reveal, video games about sneakers, Kanye news a week too late because no one cares, the week's hottest releases, and of course, our Hard Pass. Well, maybe. All right, let's start the show with some hot takes. Hey, guess who's got a signature shoe?
Ooh.
A'ja Wilson. That's who. Co-writers here, by the way, so you guys know that. After weeks of speculation, subtweets, some good faith arguments, and lots of bad faith arguments, Nike and Wilson announced that in 2025, Wilson will become the third current Nike basketball women's athlete to receive a signature shoe, joining Sabrina Ionescu and Elena Delle Donne. And it'll be called the A1. Wilson celebrated the news with a t-shirt that says, "Of course I have a shoe.com," which leads to a page on the Nike online store with a message that tried to, well, let's say change the narrative. It called out everybody for thinking that Nike would sleep on someone as accomplished as Wilson, to which everybody replied, "Yeah, we did think that because you, as in Nike, never gave us a reason to think otherwise." While we are all happy and proud that Wilson is getting a signature shoe, this is not the own that Nike thinks this is. This is Shaquille O'Neal using the "I know what I'm doing, brother, and I'm a master marketer" excuse anytime Charles Barkley gets on his nerves during an argument. The only thing missing was Nike saying they got more rings than all the internet trolls. Nike got called out, they responded, and now they want a cookie. Nah, not this time. Now, you might be saying, "But Jacques, I read the piece in The Athletic. Wilson has known since February 2023 that she was getting a signature shoe with an apparel collection and gear. She's known this whole time and they were just waiting for the right time to tell the world." Okay, fine. Why was now the right time? Was it because the WNBA season was about to start? If that's the case, teasing something that people won't be able to get their hands on, or rather their feet into, until 2025? Sounds premature. This isn't the latest MCU movie or the next Nintendo Switch where a long hype cycle is necessary to build anticipation and awareness. When Nike announces a new signature shoe, we usually get it relatively soon afterwards. December 3rd, 2014, Nike announced the Kyrie 1. A few weeks later, on December 23rd, the first colorway dropped. February 3rd, 2023, Nike announced the Ja 1. 2 months later, on April 19th, the Day 1 colorway dropped. But before that, there were months of leaked images and style codes. Nike didn't have to create awareness. The internet would do it for them. Everybody knew that Kyrie shoes, Ja shoes, Booker shoes, and Sabrina shoes were on the way. All Nike had to do was name the date and price, and off we go. Why wasn't this the case for Wilson? If plans really were set in motion in early 2023, why break the silence so soon when they can't show us anything officially or unofficially? Because Caitlin Clark. That's why. In a different piece in The Athletic on April 23rd, they were the first place to report that Clark had signed a $28 million deal with Nike that includes a signature shoe line. Nike has yet to confirm that a signature shoe is on the way, which means the earliest we're seeing a hypothetical Clark signature shoe is 2025 or maybe even 2026, because again, Nike is not in the business of teasing or revealing signature shoes a year out, unless they know they messed up and they felt the heat. In fact, on April 17th, Wilson tweeted, "Always remember, what is delayed is not denied." Interesting. And now we're here, with Nike trying to play damage control. A rare misstep from the usually savvy, usually on-point fellows at the swoosh. On April 11th, before details of Clark's deal got out, Nike had their Air event in Paris, which I was in attendance for. During the presentation,
Bringing that up.
Look,
I wasn't there.
that's not my fault. If they didn't invite you, you can't blame me.
Wow.
Anyway, during the presentations, they had a hypothetical signature shoe for A'ja Wilson that was conceptualized by AI. It's pretty gaudy, to be honest. Like, I don't even know how A'ja, or anyone for that matter, would be able to get their feet in that thing if they just had the foresight. All Nike had to do during that event was say something to the effect of, "This is just an AI concept, but the real thing, we know." A few simple lines, boom, a change in direction from what we're used to from Nike, but we would applaud them for being able to read the tea leaves. We would all know something was coming, no need to elaborate further. Wilson wears the shirt months from now, and the URL leads to an image of the actual shoe, hype cycle created, problem solved. Of course, A'ja Wilson has a shoe. She's deserved it for a while now. If only Nike hadn't gone out of their way to make things a little bit harder. Speaking of WNBA players, Angel Reese is getting her own Reebok Solution Low Player exclusive. Well, it's a start. After years of having little to no presence in modern hoops besides Allen Iverson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Shawn Kemp retros, Reebok basketball is taking the Puma basketball route as they make their comeback. Puma. They want to sign some top picks in this year's NBA draft, lace up a WNBA star and player exclusive that eventually lead to a signature shoe, and voila. You're competing for third place because, honestly, nobody's beating Nike, Jordan, and Adidas anytime soon. But hey, anything's possible, right? Keeping the train going. Official pictures of the Nike Sabrina 2 are here. And hey, what do you know? They look like Kobe's. Hey, guess who Sabrina Ionescu's mentor was? The late Kobe Bryant. Guess what signature shoe line is dormant right now besides Protros that John Donahoe needs to make more of? Kobe's. So why not occupy that space in the meantime? The way the internet has decided that any new shoe that looks like Kobe is somehow disrespectful to Kobe is kind of wild to me. You could maybe argue it's a sign of Nike's lack of creativity, but come on. It's not like Kobe was looking to reinvent the design wheel with the Kobe 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, honestly. It's the same shoe with tweaks year after year. And look, let's be real here. If Nike and Kobe had been on better terms prior to his passing and people were actually buying his Protros and not letting them sit in outlet stores, there would be a Kobe brand right now and these Sabrina 2s would be called the Kobe Sabrina 2s. No one would be saying a word if that were the case, but because it's a Sabrina shoe and only a Sabrina shoe, here comes the pitchforks. Look guys, I say grow up. And while we're on the subject, we gotta show love to the Gold Mamba, Joelle Lloyd. She recently released the PE version of the Nike GT Cut 3 and it had a lot of have a Nike Day imagery, so naturally we thought that was the influence. It turns out the story behind the shoe is a lot cooler and very touching. The design was courtesy of the children of Lloyd's best friend, Justice, a 6-year-old on the autism spectrum, and Sloan. So the drawings, colors, patterns, and slogans found on the kicks, the work of 2 awesome kids. That's awesome. Man, we sure did dedicate a lot of time to WNBA sneaker coverage, huh? Gee, I wonder if the conversation about that in the comments is going to be civil and respect. Who am I kidding? Look, Puma, Acre, Asia Wilson, signature shoe, Caitlin Clark, signature shoe, 17-time NBA champion, 1 in-season tournament champion, Los Angeles Lakers. Puma, Okra, Asia Wilson signature shoe, Caitlin Clark signature shoe, 17-time world champion and 1-time in-season tournament champion, Los Angeles Lakers. All right, enough of that. All right. Shout out to Matthew Rodriguez for having the same thought I did when I saw these Desert Camo Air Jordan 3s. These are definitely the shoes Nori would have worn in Def Jam Fight for New York if these had been around in the early 2000s. Would not be mad if these became the Nori 3s, or as co-writer remembers him, the what 3s. I like the sound of that. No, it's what. I'm not gonna argue with you. Conor McGregor was pictured wearing the Nike Mars Yard he bought on sneaker shopping with a matching Under Armour tracksuit. Oh, so no one's gonna make a fit joke?
Nope.
I thought the internet loves to roast people who wear mismatching brands. Well, now's your chance.
Nope.
Crickets.
Nope.
Crickets.
Not gonna do it.
Look at that.
Not gonna do it.
Anyway. I don't know if this makes me feel really old or really grateful to have been around during that time, but Jason Kidd, coach of the Dallas Mavericks, is out here on the sidelines wearing the Nocta glides that were inspired by the Nike Zoom Flight 95s, aka Kidd's pseudo signature shoes. Between J. Kidd, Memphis's Penny Hardaway rocking kicks along with 1 cent gear, Carmelo Anthony sitting courtside at Knicks games and Jays, we are fast approaching the era when the people on the sidelines could talk smack to the players about their sneaker game. A shame MJ never did that with the whole time he owned the Hornets, but I'm guessing it probably wouldn't have been proper etiquette for an owner to talk down to an opposing player's signature shoes, but I would have loved it. VF Corporation, the megacorp that owns Supreme, Vans, the North Face, and many others, could be looking to offload some brands that no longer fit their vision, and Supreme could be one of the ones on the chopping block. Same, VF Corp, same. Supreme hasn't been a part of the Hard Pass vision other than to clown on 90% of their sneaker collabs. At the same time, we understand the value of Supreme, and while everybody says they are down now, a change of ownership with a renewed focus could bring them back to prominence. I mean, we've been saying Supreme is dead for a long time, man. How much longer before the narrative changes? I'd say it's sooner than most of us would like to admit. So to promote the launch of Space Jam Air Jordan 11 Low, you can access a special microsite that's reminiscent of GeoCities pages from the 90s. Oh, somewhat related, SpaceJam.com is alive and well in 2024, and it's better nostalgia fuel than the original movie and the LeBron sequel. Anyways, the site even includes a short platforming game that has you taking down robots and aliens and collecting the letters to spell Jumpman. Naturally, co-writer had to play the game and put his old reviewer hat on because he's bougie like that. He gives the game a 2 out of 5 stars because while it's got a charming vibe and a nice little bop for background music, the slippery controls cause a few frustrating fails that could have been avoided, and the lack of reward for collecting all the letters, like, you know, a link to buy the shoes, is bound to frustrate some fans. And I agree with that last part. If you can't tell, co-writer was someone who took his reviews very like that, seriously. You sound exactly like that's how I read it in your voice.
Wow,
when you,
wow.
Speaking of reviews, I guess some people were hating on the game and saying that they should have just brought back Michael Jordan's 16-bit platformer Chaos in the Windy City.
No.
Co-writer was not happy about that because, in his words, the more people know about that game, the more Michael Jordan's legacy is going to be tarnished. The 80s and 90s are full of video games headlined by NBA players that hover between trash and mediocre. Anybody who says they want those to come back is proof that nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
I don't sound like
Again,
that.
that's exactly how he sounds, people. In fact, here's co-writer's power ranking of video games headlined by NBA players from worst to mid. So, the trash tier: Bill Laimbeer's Combat Basketball, Michael Jordan In Flight, Shaq Fu, the 16-bit OG and the modern reboot, Michael Jordan Chaos in the Windy City. Okay, now the mid tier: Magic Johnson's Fast Break, David Robinson's Supreme Court, Barkley Shut Up and Jam 1 and 2, One-on-One Dr. J versus Larry Bird, Pat Riley Basketball, Kobe Bryant in Courtside. Okay. NBA Courtside. Sorry. Kobe Bryant, NBA Courtside. See, I told you, NBA Courtside. Okay, fine. Co-writer actually had fun playing this tier of video games: NBA Courtside 2, featuring Kobe Bryant, Jordan versus Bird 1-on-1, and then Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden. Now, the secretly great tier was Slam City with Scottie Pippen.
Heck yeah.
And Slam City is actually the worst. We're just kidding. It's the worst playing game of the bunch. Yes, worse than Shaq Fu and Bill Laimbeer, but co-writer ranked it in the best because of the rap song in the credits, courtesy of, you guessed it, Scottie Pippen.
Just a thought that brings pressure, but so what? Cause on the court, I'll be dunking like donuts.
We covered this game on Hard Pass years ago, but hey, we're just doing our part to make sure nobody, and I mean nobody, forgets about Slam City with Scottie Pippen. It is a national treasure.
It was on 6 CDs.
6 CDs. Anyway.
Sega CD, 6.
Before we move on to the pick of the week, I know some of you are going to want Hard Pass to talk about Kanye West showing up in promotional videos and images for Travis Scott's Jordan signature shoe, which I guess is now technically called the Cactus Jack T-Rex. Anyways, this had the stands all worked up thinking that Nike and Jordan were back in the Kanye business. Well, it's been a week and no one has said anything. No one at Nike or Jordan has commented to denounce it or endorse it, which we're going to interpret as, hey, go do what you want, Travis. We don't care. And you know, we don't either. And maybe that's the most damning and painful thing that can happen to Kanye: apathy. Don't mistake this for Kanye falling into irrelevancy. His millions of stans are going to do everything in their power to make sure anything Kanye does is the most important thing in the world because they want to believe that their lives have meaning and that this was all worth it. But if the rest of the world doesn't give a shit, that might be the thing that actually stings Kanye more than anything else. More than being let go by Nike, by Adidas, by Gap, by some of his family and friends as well. All right, moving on. For our pick of the week, the Nike KD17 Penny. This is on the 24th for $150. So the second colorway of Kevin Durant's 17 signature shoe pays homage to a legend in the sneaker game, Penny Hardaway. Many would argue that Hardaway has the second best signature line of all time. And depending on the day, I would be inclined to agree. Sorry, LeBron. This tribute features a few callbacks to Penny's Orlando Magic days with the blue, white, and black colors and the wavy pattern that's found on the swoosh. And I'm not gonna lie, if this is KD's version of a trip down memory lane like what teammate Devin Booker did with his Book 1 PEs, I wouldn't be mad at it. Like a black, red, and white colorway of this with a subtle nod to Scottie Pippen's signature shoe line wouldn't be a bad idea, right? It's time for this week's Hard Pass. We'll take a look at something in the culture that just needs to go. Actually, there won't be a hard pass this week because we're running low on time. So we just want to say congrats on 30 years to Slam Magazine. For generations of hoopers and fans around the world, Slam connected us to the game that we love without the filters of network television, corporate mandates, and the late Commissioner David Stern sanitizing it so it can be palpable for a wider audience. Before the internet could show us every highlight of every game and players became aware of the word brand, Slam would tell the stories of the superstars, the up-and-comers, the journeymans, and the never-weres with the same reverence and respect. Because they understood that if you love this game, the punks that only ever get mini features were just as valid as the cover athletes with full-blown features and slam-up posters. We first learned about brilliant writers like Scoop Jackson and future colleagues like Russ Bankston on Slam. Co-writer would like to shout out Lang Whitaker for his contributions to the magazine. But more importantly, the website with the links when sharing something as innocuous as links to interesting stories was a novel concept. Slam was also the place to find the news and previews on sneakers that we would see in stores soon. Our favorite special edition Slam ever produced was the 1997 100% Mike magazine that dropped so much info about a little thing called Brand Jordan, not Jordan Brand, and that is still a valuable resource to this day. So a special thanks for everything, Slam, and here's to another 30 years. All right. That's going to do it for the show. Thank you for watching Hard Pass. I am Jacques Slade. I'll see you next week, but not before we leave you with the viewer Hard Pass.
Yo, Jacques. Good morning, brother. Hope all is well. Your favorite Hard Passer, Leon Morgan Acting on Instagram. I would like to give a hard pass to all the Drake stands out there. The man lost. He got cooked. This is what happens when you go up against a Pulitzer Prize winning rapper. Drake fans, you know, we can all be fans, but these Drake stands are betas. Boys ever thankful for Aubrey. Shout out to Will Mills on that one. All the love, Jacques. Be safe, be well.
Who do you guys think won, Drake or Kendrick? I think he let his thoughts be known. Anyway, if you guys would like to be featured in the future. That's rude. You should not laugh. If you guys would like to be featured in a future episode, sans co-writer, call us at 818-493-9325. Leave a short message, your social media if you want. No more than 30 seconds. All right. We'll see you next week. Peace.
J. Cole won.
Wow. Wow. All right. Peace, y'all.